Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
If you have driven around the southeast side today, you probably hit this. It's some serious traffic. A part of I-37 closed down after a truck hit part of an overhead traffic sign.
Yeah, you can see that truck in two different pieces. It's split in half. The bed is in one area and the cab is in another. Somehow, miraculously, no major injuries.
However, this is still causing a major traffic problem right now.
RJ is here to tell us how to get around this closure and how much longer that area is going to be closed. RJ?
Yeah, guys, it's going to be a long day out there for our drivers on the southeast side. So just to give you an idea, this crash happened around 6 o'clock this morning. A driver hit one of the overhead signs there in the southbound lanes of 37. So what you're looking at right here is a live shot, 37 and South Guide from our TransGuide cameras. There used to be an overhead sign here. So what happened was that TxDOT decided that they were going to inspect the structural integrity of the sign, and they just decided that we're just going to have to take it down for the time being. So that meant that they decided to shut down all of 37 right here at Fair Avenue. So again, the crash happened 37 at Fair Avenue. Just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here in terms of our traffic. This is where traffic is being diverted right now. So this is our camera at 37 Hackberry, all southbound traffic being diverted off of Fair Avenue, and you're going to be able to get onto the access road. Once you pass that Fair Avenue 37 exit, you're going to be able to get back on. Now, there are some other options for you if you are headed to the southeast side right now, because you do see the backup that we're looking at here. You can either take South Presa, that'll get you southbound, and also you could take Roosevelt. Those are two main options to head south if you are going to the southeast side at this time during the day. So again, our closure expected to take place or expected to last till 4 p.m. And let's give another look here at that picture that we got there. Again, this was from the TransGuide traffic camera, and again, you could see the sort of the cab of that truck there on that one wrecker on your far right-hand side, and you could see the bed of the truck on that other wrecker on the left side there. So we got this around 8 o'clock this morning when we got to see a little bit more daylight out there from TransGuide. Again, a single vehicle collision. It actually caused another crash on the northbound lanes, but that has been cleared out for a while. We come back out here real quick, and we'll go back out to TransGuide and give you one more quick shot here. 37 South Cross has been shut down here because of a major crash from around 6 o'clock this morning. These lanes are expected to stay closed till 4 p.m. today. And keep in mind, the Alamo Dome is going to be having the UIL, the girls tournament. So there's just going to be a lot of traffic in this area. Just make sure to plan ahead of time if you're headed out in this direction. David and Ursula, back to you guys.
Thank you for the update, RJ. New this noon, a Texas law that allows local police to arrest suspected illegal border crossers now blocked. A federal judge sided with the Justice Department, which argued that the law signed by Governor Greg Abbott last year was unconstitutional.
The law was due to take effect on March 5th. Now it's on hold while Texas appeals it. This, the latest in the battle over the state's efforts to stem illegal immigration from the border and beyond. And that brings us to today's big story. The two top candidates for president headed to the border this morning, and KSAT 12 is there as both President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump take the issue on in their campaigns.
While both are addressing immigration problems at the same time, Biden and Trump will be about 300 miles apart on the Texas border. Right now, President Biden is due to arrive in Brownsville pretty shortly, and that's where we start with our Daniela Ibarra.
President Biden is set to arrive here in Brownsville in just over an hour and a half. Right now, they're making the finishing touches ahead of his arrival. The president's visit will be quick, but people here in Brownsville hope it will have a long-lasting impact. The president is set to meet with Border Patrol agents, law enforcement, and local leaders. Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is also with him. The president is going to get a border security briefing while he's here. He's also going to use this trip to push a bipartisan border bill. Ganaremos esta lucha! Just outside the airport is a group of activists with Lupe, which fights for labor rights. The president of Lupe says she hopes Biden drives by them and listens.
I hope he takes away that the community have concerns and that he should make the time to meet with the community. We are believers that the community is important to him.
During his visit, the president is expected to speak with San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg. Nirenberg told us earlier this week he hopes to talk to the president about how the migrant crisis is impacting San Antonio. We're expecting to speak with Nirenberg later today, and we're going to have that for you coming up tonight. In Brownsville, Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
And former President Donald Trump is in Texas as well. As we mentioned, Shelby Park in Eagle Pass has been front and center of that issue.
John Paul Barajas there live for us covering that part of the border story. John Paul, what are you seeing out there before Donald Trump arrives?
David, Ursula, we haven't seen too much. We've seen a few helicopters land, obviously a larger police presence. And behind the fencing and military vehicles here at the entrance to Shelby Park, there is a stage that has been set up for the former president, but we have not seen him or heard from him just yet. Now, we have heard from the Eagle Pass Border Coalition. They held a press conference just a few miles away from where we're at the San Juan Plaza. And they're not happy about the former president coming to town, saying he and Governor Greg Abbott are not interested in fixing any issues, but just politicizing it. This comes as the state took control of Shelby Park in January, and since federal agents have said they have been denied access. And earlier this month, the governor announced that a military base that will house 1,800 Texas National Guard will be built here as well. Those with the Border Coalition believe more of that money should be invested into the community.
We're spending $10.5 billion on things like concertina wire, and yet we're not putting money into schools. That's the story about Operation Lone Star. It's not about the river, it's not about immigration. The reason you're here today is because there's an election on Tuesday.
This unwanted attention, this unwanted militarization of our community is unwelcome. You are not welcome here.
It is important to note that Border Patrol Southwest Sector saw record-breaking numbers of crossings in December, but that number dropped by about 50% in January. Abbott recently credited razor wire for that decrease, but the U.S. Secretary of State also visited with Mexico during that time, asking them to do more. Now, we've been here since yesterday, and we've spoken to a handful of locals, and most of them, or a good chunk of them, were actually excited or at least interested in hearing what the former president will have to say today. And we'll bring you updates throughout the day on his visit. In Eagle Pass, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. Get outside with live. Get chilly today. At least the winds died down and then the temperatures went down.
Right, yeah. That was the big story yesterday was, of course, the winds that elevated the fire danger a bit, but also ushered in this cooler and drier air that is now settled into the region. So this morning definitely felt a little bit more like winter out there. You needed to bundle up stepping out for the morning drive, and really not a whole lot has changed, in part because we have the cloud cover. Take a look outside with live cam, and again, our temperatures this lunchtime hour. If you are fixing to step out for any lunchtime plans, still keep that jacket with you. 40s and a few low 50s. That's it. 47 right now here in San Antonio. 50 degrees for places like Pleasanton, off to our southwest, Port SA as well. 51 in Castroville. Still 45 though up in Kerrville. And this cloud cover, that's going to continue throughout the remainder of the afternoon, which means temperatures not going to budge a whole lot. Around 50 degrees. That's it. That's our daytime forecasted high here in the Alamo City. Maybe a stray sprinkle possible, but other than that, not expecting anything much of note in terms of actual substantial rain. Winds out of the northeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, so also not as gusty as what we were dealing with 24 hours ago. So that's the big story today. Chilly and 50s, maybe some upper 40s, especially across the northern portions of our area this afternoon. Quickly warming up tomorrow, though, so if it's too cold for you today, don't worry. 70s return already by tomorrow afternoon. And then that temperature roller coaster continues. We are nearing the spring-like 80s again as we head into this weekend. So we're going to break that down, time it all out for you, coming up in just a few.
Thank you, Mia. Hospital is the first stop for a man accused of setting several fires inside a vacant building near downtown. San Antonio firefighters say he suffered smoke inhalation. Katrina Weber shows us why they say getting him out of the building was no easy task.
There was no sign of smoke or fire from outside a boarded up building, but San Antonio firefighters say inside this former restaurant on Broadway, just blocks from the museum, they found quite a bit of trouble around 5:30 this morning.
They forced entry and found a homeless person in there who had started a fire.
Firefighters say once he saw them, the man headed for a restroom and refused to come out, barricading himself inside.
Our fire crews had to force entry into the restroom. I don't know if he simply just locked the door.
With help from San Antonio police, they finally got him out and into custody. Firefighters say the man had actually started several fires inside the building and didn't stop even after they arrived.
He still was actively trying to start a fire or set another fire. He set 2 fires in the structure that were very small.
During the course of it all, the man suffered smoke inhalation. Paramedics took him to a hospital for evaluation of both his body and mind. A member of the management company for this property told me that keeping people out of this building has been an ongoing struggle, but she says this is the first time that someone has tried to burn it down. According to SAPD, there have been only a few calls, fewer than half a dozen, in the past year for burglaries or suspicious people at that address. The call this morning may have been just in time. Firefighters say the damage to the building turned out to be minimal. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Drug use and recovery with dignity. That's at the heart of an Austin symposium this week that is drawing hundreds of experts.
Tiffany Huertas with a San Antonio group hoping to get the help to those who need it at a time when it's needed more than ever.
We want to save lives, but we also want to make sure that everyone that wants treatment can get access to treatment and that the treatment services that they receive are evidence-based. So the educational component of the symposium is very important.
Dr. Adrienne Lindsay is attending this year's Texas Substance Use Symposium.
We'll certainly have maybe a little more emphasis on opioid use disorder and stimulant use disorder, particularly because we're seeing a lot of overdoses in that area right now.
The symposium draws hundreds of healthcare providers, behavioral health professionals, peer recovery specialists, and even law enforcement.
We are still seeing an increase in overdose rates in Texas, about a 7% uptick in the last 12 months. So we had almost 6,000 overdoses in the last year. Fatal overdoses.
Dr. Lindsay is an assistant professor and works at Be Well, Texas, a statewide substance use disorder treatment program of UT Health San Antonio.
We've seen thousands of patients around the state and including hundreds of San Antonians.
The Be Well Texas Center also conducts research and provides education and training for providers.
There's still a lot of challenges around substance use disorders as a whole. Certainly treatment access can be a challenge. Provider education is also a challenge. So not all providers feel comfortable treating substance use disorders. And then there's still a lot of stigma as well.
This issue has also impacted Dr. Lindsay.
I've worked in this field about 20 years now, but I have lost people in my personal life, just like many others have.
While the challenges may look different across parts of Texas, Dr. Lindsay hopes people can learn from each other at this year's symposium.
I would love to be a part of getting us to a point where substance use disorders are treated like other health conditions and people know they can go to their doctor or go to the hospital and be treated with dignity and respect and get that evidence-based care.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
If you or someone you love is suffering with substance use disorder, there are cost-friendly and even free options out there for you. The number Be Well Texas is 888-852-3955, or you can visit them online at bewelltexas.org.
From a failing F grade to B in just 2 years. Southside ISD is now doing so well, the conservator assigned to the district is no longer needed. The Texas Education Agency assigned the oversight back in 2022 when 4 campuses on Southside were labeled with failing F grades. Today, the Southside superintendent says the Board of Trustees is working as a team and the schools are all doing much better.
The sky's the limit here at Southside. Everybody has been very supportive and working with one another, and we're excited about today's news and what's to come.
The superintendent also says all campuses, including the 4 that were failing, have at least a B rating now.
UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor has to do something he hadn't done in a half-decade. We'll tell you what that is coming up.
A major wildfire still raging in the Texas Panhandle. Crews finally making a little progress. This as the San Antonio Fire Department sends reinforcements. We'll show it to you after the break.
And when you look at these pictures, you really got to feel for these folks out there in the Panhandle. They just cannot catch a break. Right now, after all those fires, they're getting a mix of rain and snow.
This is video coming out of Fritch, Texas. It's an area that's not too far from this. that raging wildfire. The smokehouse fire only 3% contained still this noon.
The impact being felt in communities all around the Panhandle. The inferno killing 83-year-old Joyce Blankenship in her house, according to her family. The fire also torching scores of other structures and thousands of cattle. Windy conditions, dry brush fueling the growing fire, claiming 200 acres of land every minute.
Rich ISD Superintendent Jason Garrison says many families have had their sense of security taken away, and in its place, they have nothing but ash.
That's, where you go every night is where you lay your head down. And I mean, sadness and just, the unknown of what's going to happen.
The fire, which started here in Texas, has spread to Oklahoma. So now governors in both states are activating extra resources to try to stop the blaze.
And a crew from San Antonio is on its way to the Panhandle to help out. The fire department says it's sending 6 people and 2 more are on standby.
SAFD says that the group left today. They're going to help in different ways, including search and rescue efforts and, of course, fighting those flames.
Yeah, as we said, you got to feel for those people, not only dealing with fire, but then rain and snow, and it's just hitting them all at once, everything.
They've got a mixture of everything, and we'll talk about this in just a little bit, but even into the weekend, the fire danger up in the Panhandle is expected to elevate again because they've got low humidity moving in and gusty winds. So you're right, they just unfortunately cannot catch a break. We'll have more on that in just a few minutes, but first a look at our aquifer level for today. Down over half of a foot this Thursday. 641.2 is the reading this leap day. Still a busy pollen count. Molds are moderate. Mulberry, hackberry, elm, and ash are present, but they are low. We'll have more coming up.
Question today. My question today is not that I don't love watching Jen and Fiona, but I was kind of wondering where Mike was.
Still? He's still gone?
Oh, now it's just Jen.
Now we got more questions.
Yeah, I got more.
I know. Wait, everybody's disappearing here. Yeah, I'm sure.
You need me down there, Jen. I'm there.
Come on down. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, our question today. First, happy leap day.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's our question today. When in your life did you make that big leap? Do you guys have one?
Ooh, I do.
One to share? Tell us.
Mine was like huge, and all of you know about it because about 30 years ago, I moved from Maine, the state of Maine, down to San Antonio, Texas.
Wow.
Started working at KSAT. And I remember driving my car with my dog all the way from Maine to Texas.
Wow.
I guess the big leap is when I left my parents in Spain and went to college.
At Texas Tech.
At Texas Tech.
Wow.
They were overseas and I was at Texas Tech.
That's
my dad had gone there. And
that is a leap. That's a bigger leap.
he was like, you can go to Tech or you can go anywhere else, but I'll pay for you to go to Tech. I went, well, I guess I'm going to Tech. So
that sealed the deal, right? Hey,
yeah.
What a good school, too.
That was
and
huge.
I've never been to Maine, Ursula, so that's on my list.
I was there for 7 years. I loved it.
Wow.
I'm a Southern girl, so it was a big jump for me to go there in the first place.
Yeah, that's
but
a lot of
better
leaping
jump
for
to
you.
come back down south.
Yes, for sure. We're glad you're here, Ursula. Yes. So let us know. There's a QR code on your screen you can scan, and we'll share some more answers from our viewers later on. Thanks for sharing, guys.
Thank you, Jen.
That's a good question.
It is. Mia?
Do you know what Mia? I bet you I already know what Mia's answer is.
I've got one in mind for Mia. Go ahead.
Okay, this is my big leap. I decided I wanted to be a broadcast meteorologist.
Okay.
That was big?
I originally did not want to do broadcast. I just wanted to do, a private industry, National Weather Service, whatever. I thought, no way do I want to do broadcasting at all. And then I tried it out, and obviously,
you know what? To me, that's not a big leap because you are so good at it. It's like
thank you.
The glove does
Well,
fit.
it's my favorite thing in the world. So yeah, that was my big leap. Let's talk leaping up into the Texas Panhandle. I want to touch on those wildfires yet again because the Smokehouse Creek fire that we were talking about just a bit earlier, estimated now to have burned over 1 million acres, including parts of the Panhandle and even stretching over into Oklahoma. This now surpasses the the East Amarillo Complex fire that happened back in 2006 to become the largest wildfire that we have seen on record here in the state of Texas. So definitely dealing with some big flames there, a large part of Texas real estate. And we also had mentioned this a little bit earlier. Now they're starting to see a mix of rain and snow push across that area near Amarillo and pointing off to the northeast. While yes, the moisture is good, it's not going to be enough to help, of course, put out a fire of that size. And unfortunately, it's not going to last forever. That moisture works out later on this afternoon. And then we see stronger winds and drier air move in to that region, which is not going to help the firefighting efforts, unfortunately. You can see, according to the Texas A&M Forest Service, their forecast tomorrow for fire danger up in that area, once again, elevated in that very high category. So that is something that we will, of course, continue to monitor for you and just keep you updated on those unfortunate conditions up in the Panhandle as we wrap up the work week tomorrow and head into the upcoming weekend. You can see closer to home here in South Central Texas, not nearly as high. We're in the moderate category tomorrow, but still low humidity is something we're going to be dealing with, that drier air in place. And that's exactly what we're seeing out there right now. So we had that cold front that moved in yesterday. Behind it, those gusty north winds helped usher in that cooler and drier air. Dew points in the 30s. So yes, it feels a little bit more comfortable to step out to, but of course it is chilly out there as well with temperatures in the 40s. That low humidity will continue for the most part into Friday and Saturday, but by the back half of the weekend and into early next week, we are expecting those south winds to start pumping in a little bit more of that Gulf moisture. And that's also when I think we'll need to monitor for some rounds of patchy morning fog there as well. But first, here's a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast throughout the remainder of the day. Again, low humidity in place, which is one of the reasons why we only have a 10% chance for a few sprinkles to fall. Not a ton of moisture to work with, but we do have the cloud cover. So because of that, combine those two things together along with the cooler air, high temperatures just near about 50 degrees for us here in town. And then if you're stepping out for any Thursday evening plans, definitely take the jacket with you. It will be chilly out there. Thermometers gradually working through the 40s. So another cooler start first thing tomorrow, mid 40s expected. At least we're not having to deal with the gustier winds that we saw yesterday. I do think we will see some morning clouds, but then by this time tomorrow, already more sunshine returning. Take a look at those temperatures. We're in the low 70s already tomorrow. How about approaching 80 as we head into the upcoming weekend? So if you like that spring-like feel, more of the same is in store this weekend. And also, that's when we'll be monitoring for a few isolated chances for rain to return. And that'll continue as well as we head into early next week, guys.
Thank you, Mia.
Hoops getting ready for March Madness at all levels. Coming up next. It didn't take spring football long to get here. We're just a few days away. And for the first time in seems like forever, UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor is going to have to find a new starting quarterback now that longtime QB Frank Harris is retired from the game. When spring practice kicks off next week, you can expect to see quarterbacks Owen McCown and Eddie Lee Marburger battling for the top spot. And who knows what will happen as coach looks to add to his quarterback room.
Yeah, I would say Owen and Eddie, you'll see them rotate with the ones, all spring. You'll have a 1A and a 1B. And I would say you would see Jackson and Brandon, competing for that third spot. And, our room number is 5. We have 5 scholarships put back for that room. And obviously we have 4 quarterbacks on scholarship. So we're in the market. I'd love to find me another Josh Atkins out there that's played a lot of football, that wants an opportunity to come in and compete for a starting job. But I'm not just going to take a quarterback, just to take one.
That means that's going to be a lot of fun in the spring trying to figure out who they're going to start. It's a big day for UT Athletics as well because they announced they will be investing an estimated $57 million into facilities and capital projects for athletics. This includes a new state-of-the-art volleyball and basketball training facility that's going to provide student athletes with 24-hour access to a top-tier training center.
Well, I think you can feel it in the building, from our coaches to our staff, our entire department. It's really exciting, and like I think I tweeted out, it's an exciting day to be a Roadrunner. We talk about that we've proven, this facility in particular, Park West, that when we say we're going to do something, we're going to do it. So a lot of confidence in our plan moving forward, and a lot of excitement from our staff and our coaches.
Women's Big 12 basketball action last night. Sooners guard Lexi Keys buried the clutch three-pointer with just seconds to go. Number 20 OU beat number 3 Texas 71-70 to clinch the outright Big 12 regular season title. And in the NCAA Women's Basketball Division III tournament, Trinity's going to open up this tomorrow against Mary Hardin Baylor at 5:30 in Abilene. And men's D3 tournament, Trinity's going to host Texas Dallas Friday night at 7:30 at Trinity. So good luck to them.
Yes.
See, March. One day extended into February, so we're holding off to March Madness because it does start.
Oh, we got an extra day.
Got an extra day to wait and anticipate.
That makes sense. New today at 5. If you have a great mattress to sleep on, but you're still tossing and turning, what you have on your mattress may be the issue. How bed sheets, comforters, and others can impact your sleep. It's today at 5 after Entertainment Tonight. Taking a look outside with live cam. This is a trouble spot, and it's going to stay a trouble spot until 4 o'clock this afternoon. That's right. We got 3.5 more hours of this. This is I-37 South Cross. All those lanes are shut down because there was a one-vehicle crash that just messed up that highway to no end.
It was a pickup truck, double cab pickup truck. The truck split right where the cab and the bed go together. So fortunately, no injuries reported on the accident, but it did do damage to the braces of the street sign. So they're having to fix that. So that's part of the problem that they have out there at 37. And that's going to last, what'd you say, another 3.5 hours, so about 4 o'clock this afternoon.
4 o'clock. Yeah. And you can see all of the traffic having to divert onto the access road in the upper left-hand side of your screen. Ooh, you do not want to get stuck in that. I don't have to be in it to know it.
Definitely not. Yeah, no, not good, especially as a lot of folks are getting out for any afternoon plans that you may have or any errands that you need to run. Yes, be mindful of that traffic spot. Also, take the jacket with you. Take a look at conditions outside. Again, we've got the cloud cover in place. I do think we will manage to find a few peaks of sunshine way out west, closer to the Rio Grande for places like Del Rio and Eagle Pass. Already seeing a little bit of a break in the clouds there near Carrizo Springs, where temperatures have warmed into the mid-50s. For us here in San Antonio, we are just expecting cloud cover all day, and because of that, temperatures have not warmed all that much since this morning, and they are not expected to warm that much over the next few hours. So again, right around 50 degrees. That is our forecasted daytime high here in the Alamo City by about 3 to 4 o'clock. Just a 10% chance for a stray sprinkle or two, not completely out of the question. And then still very chilly later on this evening. Definitely bundle up if you're stepping out as thermometers gradually fall through the 40s. So again, winter-like today, but tomorrow already a different story. Low 70s expected as we see more sunshine take over into our Friday afternoon, so closer to the average for this time of year. And then downright spring-like by Saturday and Sunday with high temperatures near 80. By the way, that continues even to kick off next week, the first full week of March as well. So we'll talk a little bit more in depth about that. Plus, when we could see some rain chances return to the forecast coming up a little bit later on, guys.
All right, Mia, thank you. New this noon, Texas Senator John Cornyn told fellow lawmakers that he plans to run for the Senate Republican leadership. He is the first senator to announce a campaign after Senator Mitch McConnell said he will step down from his leadership role in November. Cornyn said he would work to improve communication, try to move spending bills individually, and make an effort to include every member in decisions. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin answering questions today about his recent stay in the hospital at the beginning of the year. He is testifying in front of the House Armed Services Committee as he recovers from complications from prostate cancer procedure. Members of the committee are trying to find out why he waited days to notify lawmakers and President Joe Biden about his hospitalization. Austin went to the hospital on January 1st, but his deputy and the White House weren't told about it until January 4th. One day later, Congress and the public found out. Today, Austin said that there was never any lapse in command, but he did admit to a breakdown in communication.
There was never any lapse in authorities or in command and control. At all times, either I or the Deputy Secretary was in a position to conduct the duties of my office. But we did have a breakdown in notifications. Again, we did not handle this right, and I did not handle it right. As you know, I've apologized, including directly to the President, and I take full responsibility. Complex.
Assad also said that he never directed anyone to keep the hospitalization from the White House. The Pentagon review found his staff was hesitant to share information because of privacy concerns.
The Justice Department entering the investigation over Boeing. It's about that frightening door plug blowout in mid-flight. No one was seriously hurt when the door blew off the side of the 737 MAX during a flight to Alaska on January 5th. But now the DOJ is looking into whether this incident means Boeing violated a settlement over allegations it defrauded the FAA, leading to 2 fatal crashes of the 737 MAX 5 years ago. Boeing agreed to the $2.5 million settlement with the DOJ back in 2021. And under that deal, Boeing avoided prosecution for conspiracy to defraud the U.S. by misrepresenting characteristics of the 737 MAX while the FAA reviewed the plane for certification. The numbers are in, showing the world's largest brewer likely lost more than $1 billion in sales after its partnership with a transgender influencer went viral. Anheuser-Busch reported record revenues for 2023, but said its U.S. business was hurt by the boycott that ensued from its marketing plan involving Dylan Mulvaney. Organic revenue plunged $1.4 billion last year, and most of that was from the Bud Light sales. Since breaking ties and announcing the termination of the marketing head who came up with this idea and the failed response, the beer has seen some gradual improvement since May.
The Food and Drug Administration says certain types of forever chemicals will no longer be used in U.S. food packaging. The FDA announced materials like fast food wrappers, microwave popcorn bags, and pizza boxes were a major source of exposure to certain types of PFAS. The hormone-distributing chemical has been linked to a variety of health effects, including certain cancers. In 2011, the chemical stopped being sold in the U.S. due to safety concerns. The FDA estimates it could take another 18 months after the products containing the substance are phased out. So far, 12 states have moved to ban or phase out pieces in food packaging.
People aged 65 and older should get additional doses of the current COVID-19 vaccine. That is the new recommendation to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The CDC director still has to sign off on the advisory committee recommendation to make it final. Now, while the current vaccine is considered highly effective, protection does wane over time, and that protection fades quicker in older people. The CDC says most COVID-19 deaths do occur in people older than 65. Under the new recommendation, people of that age and older could receive an additional dose of any updated COVID-19 vaccine at least 4 months after the previous dose of the newest vaccine. A human stampede at the food line today in Gaza, resulting in more than 100 people killed and hundreds more injured. It happened in Gaza again when food trucks were trying to hand out food.
ABC's Rena Roy shows us that Israeli troops opened fire in the stampeding crowd. Another example of just how complicated that country's response to the war with Hamas has become.
Injured Palestinians brought to a hospital in Gaza after Israeli forces opened fire on people seeking food aid. Israeli security officials also releasing this surveillance video they say shows a stampede toward the aid trucks. The IDF saying some were also run over by the trucks. More than 100 killed in the crowd and hundreds more wounded, according to the Hamas-run health ministry.
This man says he was shot while trying to get canned goods and flour for his children because they've been eating animal feed for months. He asks, what are we supposed to do? Where are we supposed to go?
An IDF official saying after the stampede, the trucks drove towards a checkpoint and that the crowd approached IDF troops in a manner that posed a threat to the troops, who responded to the threat with live fire, adding the incident is under review.
This man says as they ran towards the food, the soldiers shot them.
It's obviously a tragedy, but we're not sure of the specifics quite yet.
The death toll in Gaza surpassing 30,000 as of this morning, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. An Israeli political official says Israel's war cabinet is expected to meet today to discuss the ongoing negotiations for a hostage and ceasefire deal.
The World Health Organization says 93% of the population in Gaza is facing crisis levels of hunger. Many have resorted to selling off their possessions and other extreme measures to afford a simple meal. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Welcome back. Live cam showing us a cold, well, by yesterday's standard, a cold, cloudy day.
This would be a good fireplace burning day.
Might be your last.
But it could be.
Because it's going to warm up quickly after today. Yeah. So, I mean, tomorrow we're already in the 70s and then even near 80 into the weekend. So if you like the cooler weather, today it is all your day. Thankfully, though, because of the cloud cover, it is not also the day of the total solar eclipse. Here is your countdown and fun fact of the day. 39 days away from that total solar eclipse happening on Monday, April 8th, around 1:30. Your eclipse fun fact: solar eclipses will come to an end in about 600 million years due to tides on Earth, and the slowing down of the Earth's rotation, the moon will eventually be too far away from the Earth. So very interesting there as well. Yes, we've got plenty to talk about, including a new drought monitor that came out this morning. We'll talk about that, plus a rainfall recap of the month of February after the break.
We want to give you an update on a new era that we're going into in the TV world all across the country. KSAT's launch of NextGen TV has been pushed back. KSAT originally set to launch on Monday, March 4th, but now that's been pushed back to the 6th. This is due to the FCC for license approval processes.
So NextGen is an over-the-air signal that will provide more channels for free. It can help reduce or eliminate costly subscriptions. KSAT will continue to broadcast our existing signals simultaneously.
And as we get closer to that launch date, we're going to have more information that you're going to need to make a smooth transition into NextGen. We're all learning about it on our own right now. It's going to be a bit of a difference, but I like the idea of reducing my subscriptions. But
well, I think that's the key word to NextGen TV.
Yes.
Free.
Free.
A lot of free stuff. We like that.
We like that a lot. And you know, we would like the warm weather as well. But you know what? If I can work out my fireplace one more time, I'm cool with that.
There you go. Today would be a great day for it. Exactly, because that is the theme of this Thursday. So don't get used to it, though, because, yeah, the quick warm-up is going to be the big story into the weekend. Cloudy and chilly today, near 50 this afternoon, with a few sprinkles possible. But then tomorrow, we'll see a little bit of morning cloud cover, plenty of sunshine in the afternoon, and that's going to help temperatures reach for the 70s already. So about 20 degrees warmer into Friday, and then a spring-like weekend with those warmer than average temperatures still in the forecast Saturday into Sunday. As we head into the back half of the weekend, and even more so into early next week, though, that's when we're going to be monitoring for a few isolated rain to potentially even storm chances to return to the forecast as well. So I want to talk about that specifically. You can see right now across Authority radar, not a ton going on, maybe a few sprinkles out there in northern Wilson County approaching the Lavernia area right around Highway 87. A few more sprinkles possible closer to Nixon and Smiley. Most of us are quiet, and that is going to be the theme over the next several hours. But the catalyst behind some of the upper level energy that's moving across the state of Texas is this area of low pressure that's sparking that rain and snow across the Texas Panhandle, trying to help firefighters get a little bit of a grasp on those wildfires up there in the Panhandle. But you can see even more rain along the Red River and even up into Oklahoma. That's going to push out of our area, move well up to the northeast by tomorrow. So after some morning clouds, we'll see plenty of sunshine take over. Even more sun into Saturday, maybe starting to see a few high clouds work in from the west after some patchy morning fog. But then our eyes shift up to the northwest. This low pressure system approaching is what could help spark some isolated chances for rain. Sunday, just a 10% chance, 20% chance by Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And speaking of which, I did want to get you some rainfall stats from this month. Since the 1st of February, 0.87. That's what we've seen in terms of rain officially here in town. That is below the average for this month. Since the 1st of the year, though, not too shabby, over 7.5 inches of rain. So that is good news that at least we did see some beneficial rains in late January. Of course, we still could use more, and that is reflected in this morning's drought monitor update. Not really any change from the update that we saw last Thursday, but still dealing with drought along and west of I-35, especially up into the hill country where we have that extreme drought in place. But until then, pretty dry, 47. Again, here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast this afternoon, 50 degrees, and then gradually falling through the 40s. A chilly night in store, chilly into tomorrow morning, and then we start to warm things up into the weekend. We'll be right back.
All right, Jen taking over SA Live today.
And it's February 29th, something we don't get to see very often.
Right. And we're having fun with that. Yes, it's Leap Day, and Fiona is live at Ground Control. Have you heard of it? Let me give you a hint. She's dancing around maybe, and I think she has a special guest with her as well.
Hey there, we are at Ground Control Trampoline Park, over 23,000 square foot of nothing but jump fun, and it is so much more than just a trampoline park. You saw the dodgeball, you saw the ninja course, there is a ropes wall, and there is a super trampoline where you can show off your tricks and incredible feats, and believe it or not, I'm gonna try to do that exact trick coming up in a little bit. So what could possibly go wrong?
Oh, looks like a fun time. So our question today for you, when did you take a big leap in your life? So scan that QR code on the screen. We may share that a little later in the show. Hey, tomorrow is National Kolache Day, and we have a very special guest joining us today, and we're gonna talk culture and kolache, the Czech culture. We're gonna share that and how you can be a part of their program here in San Antonio. Stay with us.